All right, I think we are back on. Can I really apologize for that? I really don't know why that happened because I mean I've been doing it like all my live streams have been doing it in the same spot, so I don't see why we're particularly having a problem today. But hopefully everyone is back here. Hopefully it's not having as many problems here. I tried to reboot some stuff, so hopefully that helps. Um, and anyway, so let's continue. So where we did kind of leave off here was kind of at the wind field, and in case it might have got cut off somewhere. You can see that the tropical storm force wind field has really grown, right? And you can see the western part of Florida. I mean, we're talking about Mississippi, Louisiana, and Florida. All these locations are already starting to see tropical storm force winds. And Jones RNJ and Matrix, welcome back, guys. Again, I'm really sorry. I really don't know why it is buffering. Oh, is it still buffering? Uh-oh. All right, hopefully it doesn't full on quit like it did last time. I mean, like I said, I've been in the same spot I've always been in, so hopefully it's not going to continue to have problems here. All right. So as you can see, now the updated track of the storm system here again has it coming on shore with 80-mile-per-hour winds, kind of like where it's at now. All right. And you can see it comes on shore here, right in through Gulf Shores, Alabama here. All right, in through we're talking about. I mean, it could even be there. Like this is 2 a.m. It might not even come on shore till tomorrow morning. All right, so this is how how slow the storm is moving here. Maintaining hurricane, but it won't be maintaining hurricane force winds for much longer. Once it comes on shore, and it's gonna pretty much weaken pretty quickly because the storm is moving on shore when it comes on land. And I think hopefully the buffering is over. I see excellent connection on my end. Hopefully it says the same for you guys. Yeah, I'm very sorry about what happened here. And then we go through eastern Alabama, still maintain tropical storm force winds, but once it crosses into Georgia, I think we should definitely see becoming a tropical depression. But that does not mean, all right, that does not mean that the rainfall affects. All right, that does not mean the rainfall is going to taper off by any means. All right, we're still be seeing 5-8 inches plus of rainfall here. All right, well in through Alabama, through Georgia, and even the Carolinas eventually, as we head farther out in time here. So key messages for Hurricane Sally. Okay, historic and life-threatening flash flooding. That's obviously going to be the main highlight of the storm. Real briefly here, let's go to the rainfall forecast here, so I can show you guys. Originally there was an area of 20 inches plus of rain. Then I think it was like a day ago, it got downgraded to 15 to 20. Now we've added the 20 inch plus rainfall, all right back in there. So Gulf Shores, Alabama, extreme western Florida. Okay, you guys are in that 20 plus inches, all right, of rainfall now. So this is very serious, and this is actually this is valid from two. This is basically telling additional rainfall. So we can see additional rainfall of 20 inches plus. And you can just see the 6 to 10 inches of rainfall goes all the way in through northern Georgia, northern South Carolina, western North Carolina as well. And then even farther beyond that, even into central North Carolina, we got 4 to 6 inches of rain, even extending well inland. And then off to the mid-Atlantic coastline, we could even see upwards of 2 to 4 inches of rain. So this is still a lot of rainfall here. All right. So going back to the key messages here, all right, life-threatening storm surge is expected along portions of the coastline from Alabama to western Florida Panhandle, including Mobile Bay. And you gotta remember, this storm is coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. It's coming up from the south, so you're gonna have the water pushing. We're gonna basically if we go to I think it'd be easier if we go to this map here. So the water is getting pushed up this way by Sally, okay, on the right front quadrant. Then Mobile Bay gets backed up, right? You might be thinking, well, the water from Mobile Bay wants to go back into Gulf of Mexico, right? Well, it pretty much cannot do that because there's so much water getting pushed up Mobile Bay that it just can't handle it anymore. So then, you know what a river does? When it gets too full, it has nowhere to go but out. And places are going to start flooding. Rivers are going to start going into flood stage. As a matter of fact, we have it right here. Let me see. Let me pull it up here. This is the Gulf of Mexico tide gauge near Pensacola. Obviously, it's going on an up and down scale. You can see gradually it's actually still going up, even though it's on an up and down trend, quote unquote. Near moderate flood stage. Actually, I think it is. Well, at its highest point, it was. I think it might have dropped back in the minor, but trust me, that could probably be going close to major. Now, this next one we actually have a forecast for. This is the Fish River in Alabama near Silver Hill. All right, and you can just see, look how it just rapidly spikes. Now you might be thinking, okay, well there might be some good news because even though the river spikes quickly, it'll go down quickly. I hate to say that's kind of like a dream away because with all this rain that we're gonna be seeing and how long it's gonna be lasting, guys, all I could tell you is that I wish that the river could go down this quickly. All right. Sadly, it most likely will not. This is just a forecast telling you where it could get to. Like if it's gonna reach its peak flood stage by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, it's not gonna be out of flood stage by Friday. All right. It's gonna take it's gonna take a week. We might not even see. I don't even think Wednesday is when we're gonna see the highest level in the rivers. All right, it may actually be like later than that. It might even take like late in the week into the weekend to finally see that peak in the river flooding. That's how slow this storm is moving. Right? So let's take a look now at the surge. I know you guys are probably all wondering about that surge. Well, at first we had 7 to 11 feet of surge for eastern Louisiana. Then it kind of got 6 to 9 feet. Since again, storm surge is kind of dependent on two things: the wind and kind of how fast the storm is moving. Because the storm is moving so slow, it's going to have the chance to push even more water up on the coastline. So maybe expect a little bit more, all right, than 4 to 6 feet. And April says if Sally stalls, as most people think, it could make landfall much later than tomorrow morning. Yes, I mean, some models, to April's point, like I think it might have been the European, but I know one model had said that this might not even make landfall until 2 a.m. Thursday morning, which is the 17th. So now I don't think it'll be that late, but it could very well. I think you're right. It could very well go beyond. It could very well go beyond tomorrow morning. Okay, it could even be close to noon or the afternoon. But 4 to 6 feet of surge from Dauphin Island to the Alabama-Florida border. That is where we're predicting the highest surge, as well as Mobile Bay. Both locations could see 4 to 6 feet of surge. But Lake Pontchartrain, you guys are not out of the woods yet either. 2 to 4 feet of surge for you guys. The mouth of the Pearl River, the mouth of the Mississippi River, between those two locations, you guys can still see 3 to 5 feet of surge. All right, and then we got from the Alabama-Florida border to the Okaloosa-Walton County line. We still got 3 to 5 feet of surge. So you can see this is extending well out from the storm center. All right, and far east of Appalachia Bay, 1 to 3 feet of surge, which is still somewhat significant, including Grand Isle is also included in that. Now our flooding risk. What is our flooding risk? All right. Southern Alabama in through western Florida, we have our 50% chance, kind of like our very, very high. And this doesn't get added very often, so you know this is very significant. All right, and our flood risk will go all the way up into the Carolinas and eastern Tennessee, right along the Smoky Mountains. And that's another thing, right? The Smoky Mountains, the rainfall is going to be so enhanced there. All right, so that's going to be causing a lot of problems there as well. All right, so hopefully to fix the buffering issue, I think about hopefully I'll be able to continue to track Sally tomorrow afternoon as it's coming on shore. So hopefully I'm going to try out moving to a new spot, and hopefully the connections have been better. I mean, there's been a very occasional buffering problems, but it's never been this bad. So I really apologize guys for this today. Hopefully it will not happen again, but I hope you guys are still enjoying the stream nonetheless. So looking at the model here, as you can see, we have now the NAM model itself actually predicts the storm coming on shore right around, I'd say, 5 o'clock Wednesday morning, which is, I think, what most models are leaning towards. A very early Wednesday morning landfall with very low pressure, 965 millibars. But what I want to take a look at real quick is why I pulled this up as well, is to take a look at the precipitable water. Now, currently it is 7:45. All right, so it's 8 o'clock right here. So on the center and the northern side of the storm system, we're going to take a look at PWAT, the precipitable water, really taking a look at that moisture content. As you can see, the PWAT is currently 2.94 inches. Does that mean you're only going to get 3 inches of rain? No. All right, but this is kind of like that level is kind of telling you how much moisture, okay, is basically in the atmosphere, how much rain could fall in a very short period of time. So watch at 294. Then as the system starts to get a little bit closer, all right, we can kind of highlight the model soundings and kind of take a look. Now it's at 297 still. All right, and then as it comes on shore, you might notice the PWATs might start to fall a little bit. All right, as the system moves on land, yes, PWATs will slowly, ever so slowly, be falling, but that does not mean that you will be, saved from the rainfall. Now, yes, the heaviest rainfall will be at the coast, but heavy, life-threatening rainfall will be extending several, like hundreds of miles inland here. Even when we're taking a look at, even when the storm is into central Alabama, the PWAT went from 3 inches to 2.8. Now it's still 2.4, so it's falling, but the PWAT values are not falling very fast here. All right, and then you kind of almost have like this gust front of storm systems. Kind of take a look at that there. All right, then the storm moves into South Carolina. All right, so let's take a look at that. South Carolina. By the time it enters there, PWAT pretty much stays the same, 2.35. Not much is changing there. All right, and then it kind of loses a lot of its moisture, I think, by the time it moves into the mid-Atlantic. I really don't see much in terms of the radar. I think the storm falls part on the radar. It kind of gets picked up by a front, and it falls to 2.2. All right, but still, there's going to be a lot of rainfall coming out of this. As a matter of fact, the NAM model says that from 2 p.m. today through 2 a.m. on Friday the 18th, so 3 days from now, pretty much. This is pretty much talking about additional rainfall. You might be able to lower it just about a very little bit because this is measured from 2 p.m. today through 2 a.m. on the 18th. But this is basically almost telling you the additional rainfall that we're projecting here. The NAM models are projecting 20 to 25 inches plus of rainfall, and that could potentially be additional on top of what we already had. All right, so this is a very serious situation, and then you go up 5-6 inches of rainfall that goes well inland. I'm sure it could be very well more than that. All right, so let's take a look at Sally on my radar now. Okay, that's actually what the app is called. This isn't actually my radar, but this is what the app is called. Anyway, so there is Sally, and you can see that the wind is so impressive with this. I mean, you got the super impressive counterclockwise flow here. All right, and we have seen some warnings. As a matter of fact, we actually do have a marine warning. All right, on the coastal waters from Mexico Beach to Apalachicola. You might remember those places from Hurricane Michael back in 2018. All right, and actually severe thunderstorms, some water spouts could be spawning there. So that's a very dangerous situation. This one county, I think it's in Alabama or Florida that I just clicked on here. They're in quite a few different alerts. They're under 2 storm surge warnings, 2 hurricane warnings, and a flash flood warning. But I want to take a look at the flash flood warning here that is in effect. Between 2 and 5 inches of rain have already fallen here. Wow. And to think we could be seeing another 20. This storm, you guys got to remember, this storm is basically stationary. It might ever so slightly be picking up speed, but, you know, that's just, I could even say it's picking up speed, right? All right. I wish I could tell you guys that it's picking up forward speed, but I really don't think it is. And then we